Gentani, and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Minute. My name is your host, Alex Robinson.
And my name is your host, Andy Robinson.
And together we collectively make up the Godfather Minute Brothers.
Hosts.
Co-hosts.
Co-hosts.
Really. Today we're talking about minute 140, everybody. Minute 140 of the Godfather.
Alex, repeat after me.
Yes.
E minuto. Numero. 140. 40. We made it to 140, baby.
140.
You got it.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
It's nice and easy.
Well, minute 140 is, it starts off with, they're in the Don's office, and the Don explains to Tom Hagen that his being excluded from the family business, he shouldn't take it personally. It's just business.
Yet again.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is the first of two. In GF2, he gets excluded.
Yeah. And then once that is over, then we leave the dreary ethnic East Coast for the drier, cleaner climates of sunny Las Vegas.
Time
It's perfect.
Tom goes to Las Vegas to shoot some dice.
Oh, shoot. Poor choice of words. So let's talk about the Tom bit before we get to Vegas.
Yeah.
If I didn't know better, let's just say I was totally knew nothing about The Godfather, even less than I already do.
What do you mean if you knew nothing about The Godfather? Omerta.
So I would think that they were setting it up for Tom to be the Fredo in episode 2, to have him being like, I got pushed out. And it was,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like, because up until now, Tom's been portrayed as very loyal and a good advisor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why he gets kicked out.
Yeah, the best I could. Well, so you mean Fredo and GF2 being stepped over, not being killed?
Yeah.
You don't feel like they're setting
No.
I
would watch this and go, oh my gosh, I bet Tom's gonna betray the family because he's so angry about it.
That'd be crazy if they actually were setting him up to get killed, but something went wrong. Like Tessio warned him or something.
Wait, do you mean they were setting him up? You mean the
Corleones,
not the filmmakers? Not like they had a plan where he was going to get killed and then like, okay, you know what? Let's just drop it.
No, the Corleones.
Corleones.
Both are funny.
Yeah,
but it'd be great if the Corleones had planned to have him killed. They were so brazen about it. They said, "Tom, you're out."
It seems like that would be like a warning.
You know what?
Sign.
We'll make you our lawyer in Las Vegas. Yeah, we'll send you out there ahead of time.
Drink some brandy. Take it easy.
Tom looks over at Tessio and says, "Fish, can you get me off the hook? Get me off the hook. For all time's sake." Can't do it, Tommy. Little does Fish know that soon he will be using that line. In fact, he used that line stolen from Tom Hagen in this original deleted scene.
In this deleted?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, wow.
So they're going to kill Hagen. He used that line. They deleted that scene.
But then how is Hagen still alive later on in the movie?
Well, they deleted the whole plot. They filmed it and everything.
Oh, so he survived the end of the movie. Originally, he died before the end of the movie. Wow, that's
even we're gonna have to get another actor like Bela Lugosi. Was it Bela Lugosi who died mid-shoot?
Yeah, well, very early shoot.
Who would they have gotten to play a Tom Hagen double?
Oh my gosh! No,
John Cazale?
No, he's already.
That would have been a little confusing.
You have Eddie Murphy play. They play all the parts in the movie. So I don't know who else. That would be interesting.
It'd be great.
Robert Redford,
yeah. It'd be great if John Cazale did it, but he kept his Fredo voice. Mikey, Sonny, they might not even be in the car. Why am I out?
It's interesting imagining Reek switching the role. Everyone swapping one role over, like Fredo playing Tom, Pacino playing Fredo, and like Sonny. You know what I mean?
You know what did we call that, Alex?
What?
In podcast analysis
What do we call that?
and riffing, we call that a rotation.
Rotation. Yeah, that's right.
How'd you like that sound effect?
Rotation.
Rotation.
So yeah, that's what they should do. We should recast it. With
So who would Bobby Duvall play? Carlo?
I was going to say
Connie, I said clean it up.
I was going to say Sonny, but I was going to keep it within the family. But if you're going to expand it to beyond,
You got to expand it beyond. Yeah. It'd be great if they still maintained a little bit of dialogue and character from their previous character.
Sure, yeah.
Connie, you must clean it up or report to a court in the morning.
I could totally see Al Pacino doing like a Fredo type thing, like a kind of like him as like the timid kind of like, scared guy.
Oh yeah.
So
I could maybe. Oh, you mean who plays Fredo?
I could see Al Pacino doing
okay.
Fredo.
That's what
I couldn't see Sonny doing it. I can't see Jimmy Caan doing Fredo.
I can see Brando doing Carlo Rizzi. Funny papers.
Funny papers. Clean it up.
Funny papers. I like you put the emphasis on papers. Funny papers. So
Mikey, I was stepped over and it didn't feel good.
So
anyway, back to this minute. We got a lot more to say.
So back to this minute. So
you, sorry to interrupt. You asked.
We answered.
You asked what he's thinking or why they're doing this.
Well, we addressed it a bit last week.
Yeah.
But why we don't quite know why they're kicking.
In the
Tom
book, Corleone and Pacino. I mean, Corleone and Corleone Jr. both tell Tom
he's out.
That he is out, but that they need a lawyer, and that he's not. That things could get a little rough. Pretty much reiterating what's in the movie.
But I assume
they don't give details, and there's certain information you can't be aware about. You can't know.
That's what's weird because things have already gotten a little rough. It's not like. I mean, it's not like Tom was totally ignorant of what was happening with all the killing people and stuff. So I don't know why now suddenly they're like, it's going to get a little rough. We're going to kill your wife. Why? What? Anyway, I guess we'll never know.
Things are going to get really rough, Tom. For example, we're going to meet a senator out in Vegas, and we're going to kill his mistress at a rub joint. Maybe we'll bring you in there to clean it up. Clean it up.
Things like get a little rough. Specifically, if you don't get out of here, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah,
get out of here, Tom.
So Fredo. So
Tom, even though you're out, just so you know, when we get to Vegas, we're gonna have to jump you back in.
Every time you think you're out, we're gonna pull you back in.
Yeah, it's gonna happen every episode. GF1, GF2, even Zaza.
No! So
Zaza for men.
So the Don says
It's not that you're a bad consigliere. He says it's Sonny was a bad Don.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, interesting, right?
Just as a quick aside, do you know why people say rest in peace when you say a dead person's name?
No.
Because superstitious people believe that if you said the person's name, then their spirit would come out and be like, it would summon their spirit. So if you say rest in peace, it's like saying, okay, no, we rest in peace, stay in the afterlife.
Wow.
So
fascinating.
Yes, that's why people say it. So
I was gonna guess it has something to do with people aren't really dead, and that they raise a little flag from the inside of their coffin. Or we talked about that.
Well, so you're saying rest in peace is like,
We're not coming to get you. Just stay in there and rest in peace.
Yeah. That's awesome. It did surprise me that the Don publicly, with all these people in the room, said that Santino was a bad Don. But it got me thinking.
Was he a bad Don? Or is he the best Don?
He did great in the war, the previous war of the Five Families, the one that's not filmed.
Okay.
But it's referenced in the book. That's where he made his bones and he earned his reputation.
Yeah.
But he was hot-headed. I mean, he got himself killed.
So it sounds like he's a good capo regime, but he's not a good Don. Or he's a good soldier, but he's not a good Don. Or even not a good soldier because he's too hot-headed. He flies off the handle.
I mean, he did ultimately take the advice of Tom Hagen and Mikey when they were plotting to kill Sollozzo. So at least he can listen
he-
to reason.
He took Mikey's advice. Tom originally was saying, like, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Tom was just saying, surrender, give
That's
to
true,
Talia,
it was, yeah.
break up the operation. Just
It was to Talia all along.
so
By the way, Tom is still not sure if it was Barzini or Talia.
he's getting confused. It's like, so later on, when you kill Barzini, Talia.
Do you think
What's the matter with you?
Do you think in his weekly updates to the Don, he has to put in the footnotes he has to recognize his errors? His errors, for
What do you
example, he has to put, by the way, 4 months ago, in our meeting with Santino, I referenced that Sollozzo was good with a knife. It turned out it was Bruno Tattaglia who was good with a knife. Like, you know how newspapers have to publish.
Like an
mistakes?
errata, like a correction.
Yeah, correction.
Oh, I see. So he's correcting stuff from like weeks ago.
Exactly.
I was like,
That's how
what?
bad
Doesn't really help us right now.
So I think it was odd that he said that publicly. He said Santino was a bad Don with all these somewhat mixed company.
Yeah.
Yet I started thinking maybe he said it as a lesson to all in the room or certain people in the room. Like, hey, you better listen to, like, don't be hot-headed.
Yeah.
Like, learn from Santino's mistakes.
Yeah.
So maybe.
That's what he'd, yeah. But he just calls him an outright bad Don.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even say, like,
He was too high.
he doesn't even qualify. Just like,
He was a bad man.
This whole scene, he's consoling Tom, trying to comfort him, make
Yeah.
him not feel so bad.
true,
So I
yeah.
wonder if he really believes Santino was a bad Don, or is he just saying that?
I think in his heart he knows
Yeah.
that Santino was not ready.
Yeah.
Because first, don't forget, Santino's the one who got him into this mess by revealing that he was hot for the deal. So
You're
right
right.
from the start, Sonny's the
Yeah.
weak link in the
Yeah, you're
communication.
I think in another one of Tom Hagen's corrections from the editor,
Yeah.
he would say, flexible flyer, not as flexible as advertised.
It's false advertising.
Let's see. There's an interesting moment in the scene right when Tom Lee walks away.
Yeah.
The camera holds on Brando, and he's looking down, and then for a split second he looks up and he looks right at the camera.
Oh, I didn't
It's
notice
very
that.
odd. I'm surprised they kept it. It looked like maybe he looked at Mikey or a little bit off camera, but then right to the camera. It was
Oh,
very,
weird.
very strange.
Oh, I
when
did
you
not
watch
notice it.
Yeah.
When, I'll
Very
take,
quick.
Take another look at that. Yeah.
He's probably thinking, am I done here?
Is that it? We go.
Got it.
And so the scene ends when Tom leaves, and you see Mikey undoing his tie, and then Don walks behind him and puts his hand on his shoulder and like puts his hand on his shoulder. Do you think there's any significance to this?
He pats his face, his cheek.
Yeah, he
too.
pats his cheek, and then he also rubs he rubs his
Yeah.
shoulder. Is there any like
To that significance to
like is it the Don literally like molding Mikey and being like, oh, I'm showing you how to behave, or Mikey taking off his tie? Is he like, oh man, this is like. Is he like, this is harder than I thought? And then the Don's like, hey, you're doing
Take it
good.
easy.
You're
Yeah.
kind of like, you're doing fine. I was also thinking like his hand there, he's almost like the puppet master in the thing. Like, And then Mikey was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the life that I did not want to be in. And now here I am.
That's
So,
really interesting.
anyway.
In the book, Puzo writes about how it's quite the opposite. Mikey is totally in control and is I'll read it in a second, but he's saying to Don Corleone, like, you are no longer responsible for what I'm about to do. I'll get to that in a second. I have a couple other things in the book. May I read?
all right.
Yeah, Alex, the book.
It's different than the movie? All right, I'll ask you to read, but I won't insist.
Don't insist. Should we insist our readers have clean records? have clean, articulate voices? Page 401, Puzo writes, by the way, who is this? By the way, I told... Oh, so this is Don trying to cheer up Tom, Don Corleone. By the way, I told Michael that Lampone's secret regime would not escape your eye. So that shows I have faith in you. Michael laughed. I honestly didn't think you'd pick that up, Tom. Do you remember that old thing last week with Lamponi?
Yeah.
Having a secret side business?
Yeah. And there were two different versions of it. Wasn't it one of them, Tom, saying, "Oh, so I guess you know about the secret regime"?
Yeah,
and
that's
there
right.
was another version of it where he told somebody else about it, or I don't remember the details.
Yeah, Tom was aware of it, like he should have been aware of it.
Okay.
And Mikey was aware of it too, but Mikey didn't think Tom would have the wherewithal to know about that.
So is that
maybe Mikey's underestimating Hagen?
Is that your enemies should underestimate you,
Oh gosh.
and your friends should. No, wait.
I still haven't untangled that whole thing.
So, so is Mikey kind of dissing him here?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't think you'd find that.
Yeah, he totally is. Yeah.
Up until now, you haven't been that good or consigliere. So
You thought it was Tatalia all along? It was clear it was Cuneo. No, Mikey, it was Barzini. That's what I said, Barzini. Everyone's wrong. Only Don Corleone. I can't retire.
he's the only one. Eventually, just like, okay, what I'm doing.
It was Tatalia, sure.
Yeah, Mikey, to tell you.
Pats him on the hand.
Here's another. Puzo writes, Michael shook his head decisively. You're out, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom finished his drink, and before he left, he gave Michael a mild reproof. You're nearly as good as your father, he told Michael, but there's one thing you still have to learn. What's that? Michael said politely. How to say no. How to say no? Hagen answered.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of messed that up.
No, but I don't understand what his point was.
Michael nodded gravely. You're right, he said. I'll remember that. I think how to push people out.
But this is what he's doing right now. He's pushing him out.
But how to do it? To do it in a way. I think that's what he means.
His
bedside
technique.
manner.
Not that he
Exactly,
literally doesn't know how, but he doesn't know how to do it in a way that is not harmful.
Which brings me to the next nugget of wisdom from Don Corleone, according to Puzo, about how you should say no to people.
So this is Mario Puzo quoting Don Corleone.
Yeah.
Sakatune.
Puzo writes, when Hagen left, Michael said jokingly to his father, so you've taught me everything else. Tell me how to say no to people in a way they'll like.
Everyone laughs at Tom behind his back. Tom's outside the door all like, whoa. Here's everyone, we're making fun of him.
So I'm warning you, you need to focus because this is even more complicated than that whole underestimate your overestimated colleagues thing from a couple episodes ago. Here we go.
Do I need to write it out to chart it?
we need a mind map.
Okay.
Here we go. Puzo writes,
Mind map.
the Don moved to sit behind the big desk.
Whoa, wait a minute. Now, when they say
let's
the Don, are they talking about Michael Corleone or Vito
He
Corleone?
doesn't specify.
Oh, it's right from the start we're in trouble.
Can we have assurances that we know which Don you're referring to, Mario Puzo? Here we go. You cannot say no to the people you love. Not often.
You can't?
No.
That's the secret. And then when you do, it has to sound like a yes.
So go like this.
Or you have
Yes.
yes.
No.
Say in Sicilia, they won't understand. New generation.
Go ahead. Ask me if you can do something. I'll answer. I'll show you how to do it.
Pop, should I have Barzini killed?
Well,
What's
see,
that?
that's how you do it.
Oh, so that's your secret. You don't even run the business, Pop. You let everyone else make the decisions for
If
you.
everything works out, it was your idea all along. If it doesn't work out, you strictly forbade them to do this crazy thing.
If it doesn't work out, you blame the consigliere. After all, he's Irish-German. What can you expect?
Some accident should happen.
All right, are you following so far?
So far, yes.
Really? Because I'm not. Let me start from the top. Here we go. Mikey, you cannot say no to the people you love. Not often. Mm-hmm. That's the secret. And then when you do, it has to sound like a yes. Or you have to make them say no. You have to take time and trouble. But I'm old-fashioned. You're the new modern generation. Don't listen to me. So does he mean listen to him?
Yeah, is he trying to get him to say no to him? So
I'm serious. I really don't understand all that.
he's saying
Explain.
that because, okay, so family, he's saying when you're talking to family, you can't just come right out and say no often.
Because they're too close. You need to
because
let them
they'll take
down.
it personal, they'll get huffy and whatever.
Okay.
If there is some reason that they want to do something and you feel like you have to tell them no, the best case scenario is to tell them no, but think that they're walking away having gotten like still a positive feeling.
Didn't he? I thought he said try to get them to think that they were the ones to say no.
And the best case scenario is to just have them manipulate them so they're the ones who say, you know what, I'm starting to think telling the Turk might not be the best idea.
Well, whatever you think, Mikey, whatever you think is best.
So
it.
that's kind of what I think he's saying.
And Don Corleone modeled it when he was talking to Hagen by saying Santino was a bad Don. Not the basically saying it wasn't your fault. I'm saying no to you, but it's not really your fault.
I'm trying to give you some pride. You can still walk away with your head held high because you're not as humiliated. Until Mikey shuts the door, at least, we're all going to treat you with respect and so on. So
awesome.
That's kind of what I think it is.
Yeah, makes sense. Shit, I think he read How to Win Friends and Influence People, this guy.
Well, I've heard people say that when someone is the best way to get someone to go along with an idea is to make that person think it was their idea. You know what I mean? Like if you're talking with someone, then I bring up an idea and then later on I say, you know what, you're right, Andrew. The idea I came up with before is a good idea.
Why is that good to do?
Because then it makes the people more excited about the idea than if you just gave them an order and they're following it blindly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Makes them feel like they want to succeed even more because it was their idea.
So they're more likely to do it and do it well if they think it's theirs. They had autonomy
they want to make
over
a
the
good
choice.
impression and so on.
So Don Corleone might be saying, "Yeah, Barzini, he likes to go to the post office on weekends, and Tattaglia, him and the whores, Mel Green with his massages. I'm not telling you what to do."
Yeah, we're just like, it just occurred to me. Whenever Tartaglia goes to the post office, he's always by himself. He doesn't have anyone with him. He must get lonely there all by himself.
By the way, there are fake police uniforms on sale down the street.
He's really
He's really selling it. I'm not telling you what to do.
We got all these police uniforms. Al, why don't you put it on? See how it fits you. Just to see.
Oh, that's a great fit, Al. Let's take it out for a spin.
Try kneeling down on one foot. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, to test out the how tight it is in the leg. Kneel down on one foot.
It's got those cuffs that are resistant to powder burns. Yeah. Well, it'll be a great way to kill somebody with this thing, I bet.
That's great.
Well, what do I know? I'm not the Don anymore.
Yeah, I'm semi-retired.
I'm Sonny retired.
I got a few more things. So
How do you think we got this podcast going?
That's right. By the way,
we're talking about The Godfather, but I don't know anything about recording or editing a podcast. I know what to do.
By the way, I've been trying for months to figure out how to say no, I can't do this anymore, but I can't figure out how to get you to think it's your idea.
Although, you know what I'm thinking? Maybe we should take a break for a while.
No, what do you mean no? It goes against all my plans. Look, the police uniform, it works.
Wait, now am I saying I wanted to take a break because I really want to, or because you manipulated me? Oh
Alex, you need to learn how to say no.
It's puppet controllers all the way up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you for explaining that logic.
There you go, puppet controllers.
So I think in a nerdier movie, that whole paragraph could have been quoted because it's great wisdom.
Yeah.
Similar to keep your friends close, but keep your enemies close, but your friends closer. It's a little long, but it's wise. Coming up, Alex, I'm about to quote a line from this book, which I was stunned to read. And I'll get to it in a second. Just want to give you a little teaser.
Sheesh.
Let's see.
Maybe we should pause for a commercial break to take advantage of that.
There's just one little bit before that. Okay. Puzo writes, Michael said quietly, I think it's time for me. I think it's time for me to tell you that what I'm going to do is not purely out of vengeance for Apollonia and Sonny. It's the right thing to do. Tessio and Tom are right about the Barzinis. So right
Who's
now,
he saying this to? Don?
it's just the Don and Mikey alone now.
But who was saying that? Mikey.
Mikey, that was Mikey. So Mikey is starting to suggest that he is the one making the whole big plan for the end of this book and movie, and that Don Corleone has not been giving him instructions, which you and I have been wondering aloud for the past few weeks.
Yes.
It sounds like Mikey is kind of moving
taking
ahead
the
on.
lead.
Uh-huh.
So he's acting as like an advisor, like a CC semi-retired. Like
Yeah.
Don.
So here we go. Puzo writes, Don Corleone nodded. Revenge is a dish that tastes best when it is cold. Whoa! Woo! Yeah!
Is this the first time? Is this from this movie?
I can't believe I'm reading this. It's either a terrible cliche or
You know what?
Or Puzo wrote it.
We'll ask. We'll answer.
We'll
ask. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
That tastes best when it is cold.
Yeah.
So it's a little different from how I've heard it before, but maybe it's just been bastardized over the years. Yeah, so we'll look it up in the bonus content to find out. Stick around if you want to find the answer to that question.
If you want to find out whether it's better to eat the revenge cold or heat it up a little bit.
Yeah. They didn't have microwaves back then, so it was a bigger deal to heat up
That's
revenge.
true. You try making revenge for 30 guys.
Yeah. First you add your sausage, you add a little sugar, then you add
little bitterness.
a couple more things, Alex. Puzo
Okay.
writes, have they found that shepherd? Okay, so Mikey talks about his experience in Sicily, how Barzini was the one who bombed the car trying to kill him.
Wait.
It was Barzini all along. Have they found that shepherd? So he's asking about Fabrizio. The Don asked. I found him, Michael said. I found him a year ago. He's got his own little pizza place up in Buffalo. New name, phony passport, and identification. He's doing very well. He's doing very well. Is Fabrizio the shepherd? The Don nodded. So it's to no purpose to wait any longer. When will you start? Michael said, I want to wait until after Kay has the baby, just in case anything goes wrong. And I want Tom settled in Vegas so he won't be concerned in this affair. I think a year from now.
A year? Jeez, they aren't kidding about this cold revenge stuff.
So many times in this book, they keep referencing a year or two and they give the same reaction. So isn't that interesting that even Fabrizio is lined up for this big the climax that's coming up?
So I guess you have to be patient when you're in this line of work.
Yeah.
It seems to me like if you're in I don't know, I guess if I was going to get revenge, that would be like the top of my, but again, maybe it's not really the top of his list.
Yeah. Well, he's also thinking strategically from a business perspective. He wants to get Tom out to Vegas so he won't interfere. He wants to have, he wants Kay to have the baby. So just in case anything goes wrong with that, and he wants to be completely focused. He doesn't want anything to interfere with this business.
I forget. Does Mikey kill him himself, or does he send somebody to
kill who?
Kill Fabrizio.
It's a deleted scene. I don't think it's Mikey. No.
So why the concern then?
I guess
Can't they just contact the Buffalo family and say, "Hey, listen, can you do us a favor"?
But maybe if they find out Fabrizio's killed, Barzini and Tatalia will head to the mattresses. Off? Yeah, probably do it all at the same time. That's how.
Oh, because they would say, "Hey, he's killing them." Okay, yeah. All right, I'll allow it.
Yeah, okay.
Convince me, counselor. You showed cause.
A couple of things. So this is interesting because it's just Don Corleone and his son Michael talking. Puzo writes, Michael said gently, "You have no part. You're not responsible. I take all responsibility. I would refuse to let you even veto. If you tried to do that now, I would leave the family and go my own way. You're not responsible."
Wow.
So it's truly that I think the torch has been passed.
So he is the Don now.
Yeah, and Don Corleone pretty much accepts that. He says, "Yeah, I've done my share in life. I haven't got the heart anymore, and there's some duties that
wasn't enough time, Michael."
That's it then," he says.
Aww.
Kind of lets Mikey go. Puzo writes, just a little bit more background information. During that year, Kay Adams Corleone was delivered of a second child, another boy.
Huh.
So that's different because in the movie, it's just a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
So second boy. She delivered easily without any trouble whatsoever and was welcomed back to the mall like a royal princess.
Wait, was it a boy?
It was a boy, Alex.
Can I get a straight answer out of you?
Because this podcast thing must end. It's unholy.
There have been movie by minutes podcasts since long before now.
Oh, Alex. You said that 5 years ago. A couple other bits and pieces. So Nino Valenti, who is not in the movie, that was Johnny Fontaine's childhood friend who is out in Hollywood. He's a big drunk and using drugs, and so is Johnny. He dies of a cerebral hemorrhage. Not Johnny, Nino Valenti. His death made the front pages of the tabloids because he was in a hit movie with Johnny Fontaine.
Oh, hit.
Yeah. And he was also well regarded among the Corleone family. Mm-hmm. Check this out. Puzo writes, no member of the Corleone family attended Nino Valenti's funeral in California except Fredo. Freddie, Puzo writes. Lucy, blah, 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 a couple of Hollywood people did. The Don himself had wanted to go to California, but had suffered a slight heart attack.
Whoa.
So, yeah, in the movie, he only gets the one big one, but in the book, it's creeping up to it.
It's a semi-retired moment too soon.
Mm-hmm. He sent a huge floral wreath instead. It makes me wonder if it's the same wreath that Johnny had sent him.
Oh, they just keep sending back and forth.
Albert Neary was also sent west as the official representative of the family. I got one last thing, Alex.
Okay.
This is a little bit of a spoiler, but I want to put it in now.
You want to read it into the record?
Yeah, because this does not jibe with the ending of the movie. Puzo writes, 2 days after Nino's funeral, Mo Green was shot to death in the Hollywood home of his movie star mistress.
Oh, wow.
So it didn't coincide with the death of the crime family bosses. Albert Neary did not reappear in New York until almost a month later. He had taken his vacation in the Caribbean and returned to duty, tanned, almost black. Michael welcomed him with a smile, a few words of praise, which included the information that Neary would from then on receive an extra, quote, living, the family income from an East Side book considered especially rich. Neary was content, satisfied that he lived in a world that properly rewarded a man who did his duty. So interesting.
So in the book universe, Mo Green is killed much earlier.
Much earlier, and they make it clear that it's Al Neary.
Yeah. So that's weird that he waits a year to kill Fabrizio, but immediately kills Mo Green.
Well, I wonder if they need to kill Mo before going to Vegas because that's a key component of their Vegas transition plan. That's the only thing I can guess.
Yeah, I guess in the movie, they don't move out to Vegas until Mo Green's already dead.
Yeah, and if you think about it, maybe killing Mo Green wouldn't tip off the other crime bosses. And in a sense, it might suggest to them that they truly are committing to move to Vegas. We're going to get rid of Mo Green and we're going to get out of Vegas. We don't, like, New York is all yours.
You're right. It's a good...
keep them off their balance.
Yeah. Make your enemies overestimate you.
Mm-hmm.
Overestimate your weakness. That's it. They overestimate your weaknesses and they underestimate your kind. Your friends underestimate your kindness.
Yes, exactly. And help your enemy, say no to your enemies, but make them think it was their idea that they said no.
When they are doing the revenge coldly.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Anything else, Alex?
For the whole minute?
Yeah, we got Vegas stuff.
But yeah, I have a couple of things about Las Vegas.
Lay it on us.
Well, you see, you don't really see any of our cast, but you do see the scenes of Las Vegas. There's a bunch of, what do they call it? Stock footage.
That's so awesome. I love the way old Vegas looks.
Yeah, so I have some notes about the performers and the hotels that we see
cool.
Mentioned here. Patty Page, we see, is performing at the... which one is she at? The Desert Inn?
The Desert Inn.
Yeah. Yes. Patti Page was not only was she a popular singer, she did like pop songs and country songs, but she was the top charting female vocalist of the 50s and sold over 100 million albums.
Oh my gosh.
Which is
50s.
Just crazy to think that someone could be that popular in the 50s and now, like, how many people do you think know who Patti Page is?
Wow, that's incredible.
So that's crazy. Yeah. How Much Is That Doggy in the Window was her big hit. Joe E. Lewis, also mentioned. He is a comedian. Here's what's interesting about him. In the 20s, he was, maybe it was the early 30s. Anyway, he was working in Chicago nightclubs, and this guy who was one of Al Capone's capo regimes said to Joe E. Lewis, "Hey, we want you to come work at our nightclub." And he was like, "Oh, no, sorry, fellas, I'm committed to this other nightclub." And so they assaulted him and cut his throat from ear to ear, and including cutting his tongue. So he basically, and miraculously, he survived it. And Al Capone was pissed off because he likes Joe E. Lewis, so he gave Joe E. Lewis $10,000 to recover and to get back on his feet. And eventually he did. So he managed to come back from having his throat cut by mobsters.
Damn, did he perform at Capone's casino or wherever they wanted him to perform?
I don't have any information about that.
Gosh. They cut his tongue out?
Like I guess they cut his throat and in the process cut his tongue. Like, I don't know if it was out because clearly he could talk afterwards.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. But,
talk about your voice getting weak.
Yeah. Well, and in 1957, there was a movie made of Joey Lewis's life based on his autobiography, The Joker is Wild.
The Joker is Wild?
The Joker is Wild.
Oh, cool. And it does include all that crazy stuff you just described?
Yes.
Oh, we should watch it.
And you know who plays him? Frank Sinatra plays Joey Lewis.
Oh,
so
man. That picture made him a big star.
Yeah. So Martin and Lewis, no relation to Joey Lewis. That is, of course, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Probably the only ones at all who are remembered out of all the names that we see here.
Yeah, I think so.
Although even that, it's hard to like.
Getting close.
Do millennials know who they
Probably
are?
Not.
I mean, now that the Jerry Lewis telethon isn't even on anymore,
we may be the last generation to recognize them by name.
Yes, they were a duo. Dean Martin was a singer, a lot like Johnny Fontaine, and Jerry Lewis was a comedian, spazzy comedian, and they were part of the Rat Pack, which was a bunch of Frank Sinatra and his friends who partied in Las Vegas, and the Desert Inn. The Desert Inn is that's where Patti Page was playing, and that appeared in a couple of movies. The movie Lost in America. Did you ever see Lost in America?
No.
There's a fantastic scene in Lost in America where Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty, from Airplane. Julie Haggerty loses all their money, their whole retirement money at playing gambling at a casino. And so Albert Brooks has to go to the casino manager, played by Gary Marshall, and have to try to convince him that the casino should give them their money back as like a publicity stunt.
Oh, wow.
Like saying like, hey, if you lose your money, we're going to give you back. We give it back to these people.
Wow.
And anyway, so it's the Desert Inn. And so Albert Brooks has this whole like, he's like, I'm in advertising, so I can tell you, the Desert Inn has heart. The Desert Inn has heart. See, because you're giving us the, giving us the money back. So Desert Inn.
It's so interesting how the tradition of singers and entertainers having a residency at a certain hotel and casino still persists now.
Yeah, if anything, it kind of came back after. It was kind of like not like, I guess like Elvis kind of made it seem cheesy, but now it's definitely a standard thing. And Rush Hour 2, you've seen Rush Hour 2, right? Yeah. The casino, I guess they call it like the Red Dragon or something, and that thing was filmed in the sands.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, the Desert Inn.
So wait, is the Desert Inn still there?
No, it was demolished in Alt-1 in October 2001, 1 month after September 11th. They demolished it. And,
any connection?
No. They had a plan before then, but after they made it a much, because around that time is where they started making it like, come on, everyone, come watch the hotel be
Oh,
imploded. But
gosh.
for some reason, they didn't publicize this one as much.
Yeah.
But it's now where the Wynn
Oh, okay. I know where that is.
in
Yeah.
Vegas. We also see El Rancho Vegas, where I guess that's where Joe E. Lewis was playing. At one point, it was owned by Howard Hughes, torn down in 1979, and it is now where the MGM Resorts Festival ground is. So I'm not sure where exactly that is, but it sounds like they just, you and I are both Vegas hounds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Sands Hotel,
Sands,
which we see in the opening,
Yeah.
did not open until 1952.
Oh.
Does that mean that this scene takes place after 1952? So
Continuity ever.
well, or that's because it could be 6 years since
Oh, gosh.
since the wedding.
That's
I mean,
true.
he was back for a year before he contacted Kay.
Well,
So
and it was 2 years once he got back, I think, before whatever the next.
right, and then another year to kill Fabrizio.
Yeah.
And so
Could be.
the grand opening of the Sands.
Yeah.
The Sands was owned by the mob and Frank Sinatra, and eventually Howard Hughes. It was the first casino to allow black performers to appear. Nat King Cole was to appear and could stay at the hotel, because up until then black performers could perform, but they couldn't stay at the hotel where they were performing.
Wow.
So Nat King Cole was the first one, and so Frank Sinatra found out that while he was performing there, Nat King Cole wasn't eating in the dining room. He would eat his dinner in the room every night. And Frank Sinatra was like, "Why are you eating in the room every night?" And he's like, well, as a Negro, I'm not allowed to eat in the main dining room. And Frank Sinatra got super pissed off and went down there and he was like, he's allowed to eat here. And so Frank Sinatra, despite being a dick a lot of times, he was very pro integration.
Yeah,
like
good
any
for
performers who perform there deserve to.
Yeah.
And 1961, they started hiring black employees and letting black people come to stay at the
excellent.
thing. So
I get the impression of being a musician myself, and you an artist. Artists and musicians, I think, are a little cooler in that regard. It makes sense that Frank Sinatra would stick up for fellow musicians.
Yeah, that I think was the connection, is that, being a working musician and having a great deal of respect for black musicians and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't, he wasn't going to put
So Nat King Cole was the Jackie Robinson of the Vegas Strip.
Yes, this is true. Although I guess I would say Sammy Davis was probably more responsible for
much more public.
That. So there you go, a little setting the scene for Las Vegas.
Awesome! It is so cool to see old time Las Vegas.
Yeah,
so much character. It's great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because on the one hand, I'm like, it would have been great to go there during that time. But on the other hand, would we have gone there during that time? You know what I mean? Like, the only reason we got to go to Vegas was because it became a mainstream American thing, that you could go there in your flip flops and shorts, and back then you had to wear a suit everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
true,
So we wouldn't have.
And it was originally a desert stopover for GIs
looking to make some money.
If you look closely in that stock footage, you gotta look really closely.
Really,
it's in frame 28.
Oh boy,
you can see a really small plaque. And if you zoom in on that plaque, I swear, I maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me, but I can see a dedication to our massage-loving friend Mo Green.
So,
I think Hyman Roth was wrong.
Do you think he was wrong, or do you think he was lying?
Oh, to prove his point to Mikey?
Yeah, because he knew Mikey wouldn't know the difference, so he's like,
There's not even a plaque on Las Vegas Boulevard. There's not even a statue except
anywhere except the lobby of the hotel.
He's got to say the disclaimer.
For legal reasons, yeah.
For legal reasons, Mikey, I need you to leave the room. I'm going to turn up the television set so you can...
Oh, poor Mo Green. Well, that's all I have for minute 140.
That's all I got too.
Well, speaking of Mo Green, how much longer? If we're at the cusp of Vegas,
we are almost there, Alex.
We must be coming to the scene where Mo Green shows up.
The scene where Mo Green shows up. I have it in my old notes. I'm scrolling back to see if I can find it. We're trying to find out when
Is it when Mo Green shows up? Is that when it is? Or is it when he says he talks to Barzini? What?
No, it's like, don't you talk to a man like Mo Green like that.
Okay, so it's actually after he leaves that. So
yeah, I guess.
Okay, so we have all through the whole scene of Mo Green.
Yeah, but it's not very long.
Yeah, it's probably like
it's
a minute.
just a couple minutes. So as a reminder, you still have to write the lyrics to the next song.
After this one. Well, we don't know what it is yet. We have to find out.
Did the polls close yet?
I don't know. Should we close the polls now?
Let's close the polls.
Let's close the polls.
Yeah. Well,
we
have to
play your closed.
By the time
poll.
people listen to this, it will have been closed for about a month.
Okay. Yeah. So
because we need to do the song now.
All right then. All right. So we'll check out what the thing is, and I'll write lyrics.
Yeah. Awesome.
Boy. All right.
Yeah.
So are we gonna play the song one more time?
Let's play the song. Well, we'll play it on the way out. So let's review it, and then.
Oh right. Then we gotta review it.
Let's rate it. We got some Brando action, although he doesn't look at the camera.
Is that a plus or a minus?
Everyone's dissing on Hagen. Mikey takes the torch.
You're out, Tom.
That's a great line. Man.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm ready. It's tough. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Oh, I was almost going 4.
Me
I was
too.
almost going to go 4. I did not.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
It would have been a 3.5. We'll say that.
Solid 3.5.
Solid
Yep.
3.5.
Yeah.
All right, so you and I are going to continue on with the bonus content, which you can listen to by going to godfatherminute.com/support. Don't forget, you can get the show a week early every week by going to our YouTube channel. It airs. You can listen to a podcast a week before it shows up here on the podcast.
That's
so
right.
if you're really eager to find out what we have to say about something, go ahead and listen on the YouTube channel over there.
That's right. The bonus episode comes out on Saturday. That's the full everything we got.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is the YouTube of the regular episode. And then the
debuts on YouTube.
And the following Sunday?
Yes. A week later.
The regular episode on all the other outlets.
Yes. So go listen.
It's a little complicated, Alex.
And so I guess that'll wrap up this episode. Until next week, Tom, you're out.